It feels really good to cock block people when you're going through heartbreak. Like it feels like you get like an endorphin rush. If I can't have it, no one can. Hello, I'm Jameela Jamil, and today I'm going to be reminiscing all of my firsts with ELLE. My first audition for acting was for The Good Place, and I had no acting experience, and I got it, and that is a very unpopular story amongst my peers in Hollywood. I sort of blacked out during the entire interview process because I was in front of Mike Schur, but I do remember like coming back into my body and telling him a story about having shagged this really posh man, and that when he came, he was so posh that he said, "Hoorah!" I swear to God, I think that got me the part. First celebrity encounter, I kind of met like 50 all in the same 2 weeks because I started working at a video store in Hampstead, which is in England, which is where all the celebrities go to live. And so it was like Stephen Merchant, Ricky Gervais, Emma Thompson, Glenn Close, Steven Spielberg, and they were all just like my buds. It's like the golden era of film. We're just all in and out of the video store, and I used to booby trap the porn section because back then we would have the porn section right next to the till so that no one would, you know, wank next to it. But I would booby trap it so that if you so much as like breathe too hard, all of the pornos would come down onto you. I think I got Dame Judi Dench. I didn't mean to tell any of these things today. My first big splurge. I took my roommate to Paris for a 3-day holiday. But sadly, at the time, I had agreed for charity to wear a chicken costume for 30 days, I think it was, or something like that. Because for every £1,000 I raised, I was gonna wear a chicken suit for that £1,000. And so unfortunately, on my first trip to Paris, I had to go dressed fully as a chicken, and they could not be snobbier. Like they couldn't be like less up for a chicken suit in Paris. Like walking into Colette, like dressed as a full chicken with like the red underwing was one of the more humbling experiences of my life. I'm banned now forever, but I had a great time. The first time I was recognised in public was at the Brit Awards in 2009, and someone said, "Aren't you that brown girl off of T4?" And while that was a bit racially insensitive, I'll still take it, and it still was really exciting. My first red carpet was like the Bruno premiere, and I fell over on the red carpet and landed flat on my face. And thank God, before all the photographers could just kind of like descend on me, Sacha Baron Cohen turned up behind me wearing just like a thong and arseless chaps, and he was surrounded by soldiers wearing similar things, and that took all the attention off me, so that was a relief. But that was my first premiere. The first MCU movie I ever saw was Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's what got me hooked, because I hadn't imagined that the films would be as funny as some of the comics are, and that film is just unbelievable. My first day on set at She-Hulk, I had to fight 20 men in spandex, and I accidentally kicked one of them in the penis, and I remain sorry to that man. My favourite cast outing ever was with the cast of The Good Place. Ted Danson invited us all over to his house for a sleepover where him and his wife Mary cooked for us and looked after us, and we played games, and my boyfriend sang on the piano, and it was just like the most idyllic night of my entire life. And if you're wondering, yes, we did all have sex, obviously. The first scary movie I saw was Scream, and I have never been able to be alone in a house ever again for 3 decades now. I'm so f***ing angry with that franchise. I would never be in a Scream movie, like purely out of principle, because they've destroyed my life. I'm gonna sue. First time I remember using my voice properly and effectively was after I'd become a radio DJ. I'd made history as the first woman to ever host the BBC Radio 1 official chart solo, and it was a huge deal. In 60 years, a woman had never done that job. And all the newspapers reported, rather than me making history and gaining all these new listeners, was that I'd gained 3 dress sizes, and all these photographs of my bigger body were plastered all over the tabloids, and pictures of my bare arse while I was picking up my keys outside my home home where I thought I was alone were plastered on the front cover of magazines, and I decided to fight back. I fought the media, I took it to Parliament, I released plus-size clothing lines, I began what would become an exhaustive fight with the diet industry, and I'm still going now. So that was 10 or 11 years ago, and I'm nowhere near done. The first time I felt like I'd made it was when I was walking past Beyonce at a party, who I dared not even try to make eye contact with, and she touched my arm here, right here, and she said that she loves The Good Place, and I will never wash this arm again. It's actually rotting and decaying now because it's been so long since I've washed it, so don't come near me. It was so surreal. I don't think I'll ever recover from it. But after that, I was like, I have nothing left to achieve, obviously. Oh, and Jennifer Aniston followed me on Instagram. She's probably unfollowed me since. Don't check. Don't check. My first big kind of heartbreak was a breakup, and I was 22, and it just absolutely devastated me, and I thought I would never survive, and I listened to so much Alanis Morissette, but life goes on. After that breakup, I did something that was so unhinged and weird. I feel like I went to the cinema on my own to go and watch a Jennifer Aniston movie. It was Love Happens or something like that. Something with the worst possible title if you're going through a breakup. And I went to the cinema on my own, 10 a.m. in dirty sweats, haven't bathed in 3 weeks. And I've just gotten myself every type of snack available at the cinema because I'm just gonna stress eat my way through the movie, watching other people have a love that I no longer have. And I think I've got the cinema to myself. And then this couple comes in, same idea. They think they're gonna have the cinema to themselves. Young couple, attractive couple. They come and sit, they have the whole cinema, they come and sit right in front of me and immediately start furiously making out. 10 a.m, tongues, it's all the slopping noises, they're getting handsy, and then she starts kissing him down his chest, and I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna suck him off. Oh my God, she's gonna give him a blowjob in the cinema, right in front of me. This is too much. This is too much. I am without sex. This is too much. This is too unfair. So I poked my head over the seat and interrupted their kissing, and I was like, I'm so sorry, but I feel like you're about to give him a gift, and I should probably be paying more for these tickets if you're going to, so why don't you move a few rows behind me and we can just call it a day. And obviously they left and I traumatized them, and I really enjoyed the film. It feels really good to cop block people when you're going through heartbreak. It feels like you get an endorphin rush. If I can't have it, no one can. The only thing I can think of when it comes to advice is just the best advice that I always give, which is anything's a dildo if you're brave enough. Thank you for hanging out with me today at ELLE. You can find more videos like this on their YouTube. I'm sorry about everything I said, but if you did enjoy it and you like me, you might enjoy my new podcast, Bad Dates, which is even filthier and more raucous than I have been today. Don't listen to it with your children. You can find Bad Dates on Amazon Plus, Wonder, basically wherever you find your podcasts. It's everywhere.